and way forward. So would introduce one of you all to, please take this forward, explain us what is Zeebo about and what is the journey Zeebo has in the future as well. Over to you, sir. Welcome.
Thanks, Uma. Thank you so much for the welcome. And thanks for the opportunity to connect with the people at
Thank you,
MSc
sir.
and AppTech. Yeah, so an introduction to Zeebo. We're actually turning 1.5 years old now. So saying
Okay.
that we are not a new company, all the founders and all of us here at Zeebo have been in the industry for more than 20 years. And the founders have been behind some of the biggest studios in India. They have set up studios like Paprika's and Eccentrics. So at Zeebo, what we are trying to build is a studio that is actually into storytelling, into filmmaking, not just another animation studio or not just another CG studio. What we are looking to build is an artistic-centric studio, an artist-centric, where we want to bring the storytelling part or the creative part back into animation. So that is what was missing actually in the country, and we want to bring that into the industry, bring that spark of energy, spark of life into animation. That is what. So everything that we do, everything that Zeebo stands for, and all our long-term goals and all our hirings, all the stuff that we do every day on a daily basis and on a long-term basis will always be towards that common goal, towards bringing that art into animation. So saying that, even if we are recruiting, even if we are looking for artists to hire, we'll only look at creative people. We will only look at people who are really into art, really artistically skilled. We do not want to promote any software. We're not a software-centric studio. We will always be, introducing new softwares, new technologies, so that art will push the technology. It's not technology pushing the art. That is what we focus on. And saying that we have, thankfully, we are actually growing. We started off with a handful of people last year, and right now we are more than 50 people right now. And that's also part to Uma and AppTech for helping us reach out to students. And we
Thank
could
you.
really communicate what we are and what we do on a daily basis and the projects that we are working on. So I'll show you later on the portfolio that we have, the projects we have already delivered and that are already going on in the floor. So yeah, so basically that what, as I said, what we really want to look at is people or students who really want to do artistic stuff, who just don't want to be a modeler, who just don't want to be a lighting artist. If you want to be a storyteller, if you want to be a filmmaker, we'll give the platform. We have the platform ready. We'll always provide all the resources you want and push you up to that, push you up to take that challenge and be there where you want. Right. That is what Zeebo will always offer. That will always be what Zeebo stands for. And saying that all resources that we already have with all the experienced people that we have as supervisors, as leaders, as the founders, we have all those knowledge sharing happening inside Zeebo. So there will be so many different training sessions happening every week. There will be people who will be mentoring students, mentoring freshers or juniors who will join us, taking them to the right path, to the right course of a mix of softwares and skills necessary to survive in the industry, to meet your production tasks, meet your production assignments. So daily it will be some learning curve, some kind of training program that will be going on the floor, which is really exciting on one part because everyone gets an opportunity to learn something new. So even if you're joining us as a asset artist, you won't be stuck as an asset artist. You will be provided resources so that you can grow tomorrow to be a creative director, to be an art director. That is what we are always looking at when we are hiring people. That will always be the platform that we as Zeebo will provide. So yeah, that's what Zeebo is all about.
Thank you so much, sir. Because today it is we have students from across India who is attending this session. So most of them are not aware of what Zeebo is. And before we go ahead, sir, where is this location of Zeebo Animation? Where are you guys based out and working out from?
They're currently in 3 locations. Our central office is located in Trivandrum, that's in Kerala, small hometown. And we are also in Bangalore, and Hubli in Karnataka. So
Okay.
Zebu will always be in tier 3, tier 2 cities. We'll never be in metro cities because we want everyone who works for us, who was for part of Zebu, to have a very, really enjoyable life, not caught in the everyday traffic and hustle and
Exactly.
bustle of metro cities, like the bad air of Delhi. We don't want that. We want everyone at Zebu to have clean air, good beaches. So work
Sir,
should be fun because the creative industry
exactly.
work should be fun. That's why we are located in these places.
Okay. Sir, just a small, quick question. Any idea of selecting a location like Hubli uh, for Zebu to have an operation? Basically, any idea? Or is it like you would like to have talents from across the upcountry locations also? Is there any specific reasons like?
You're asking why we are at Hubli?
Yeah, location like Hubli, upcountry locations. Is there any specific reason for selecting such locations? Usually, any studio coming up, they will only choose up the metros.
Exactly the reason that I said. Exactly the reason. Because if you look at Bangalore for now, Bangalore is actually choking. So every day you'll have to,
Yeah.
travel 1 hour to come to office, even if it's a distance of 5 kilometers. You're caught on the traffic, and by the time you reach office, you'll be so messed up, and you'll lose all your creative energy, and you wouldn't feel like working. We don't want that in our artists. So place like Hubli is thriving actually. It gives a lot of opportunities, a lot of freedom for the artists or the people to explore their time, explore their own avenues, have their own freedom to handle their time. It's not caught up in traffic or not caught up in other things. So that is why we are in locations like Hubli and Trivandrum. Just the quality of life,
Okay. And
basically.
also, yes, sir. Adding to that, if I understand rightly, it is also an opportunity for the upcountry students also to have a studio like you in their presence, in their location,
Exactly.
the presence of that location. And it is also a growth and opportunity for students, upcountry students to work in their own hometown also with a renowned studio like Zebu.
Exactly.
So it is a growing and it is also like the projects in pipeline I'm talking about. It's a huge growth what is expected, and definitely as you said, there are veterans who are heading this studio, who had worked for eccentrics technicolor, and we all know what eccentrics and technicolor today is. So we expect the same with Zebu as well, and they have an opportunity to grow with the studio, the students to grow with the studio. So thank you so much, sir. And just a minute. I'm sorry, I just had a disturbance there in between. Sir, thank you for that. Now, coming up to understanding the hiring coming up with. At Zebu, we have a tie-up done for the freshers hiring done to be done all throughout. And unfortunately, the COVID has hit us hard in this
You're on mute, Uma. You're on
I'm
mute.
sorry. I'm sorry. Really sorry. I'm really sorry. Oh, Bhagavan. I'm sorry, I had a small break in between. Sir, and for I mean, like to take it from there forward, like yes, the presence is understood. Would like to understand the hiring. What Azibu is coming up, and we have been going through with. Yes, we have a tie-up done with Aptech and Zebu for their upcoming hiring and for the fresher requirements, which will be coming forward. So, but the problem which we had faced is like the COVID has come in, and we were not able to take anything further. We are actually, you guys participated in our job fair in Feb, but then further to which we never had a kind of go forward. So I would request Shabnam to just explain about the upcoming hiring, and what is it you are expecting from a fresher who is joining Zebu with regard to the quality, the basic standards, etc. Over to you, Shabnam.
Yeah, thanks, Uma, for the opportunity. So when it comes to expectation that we have, right now we are in about 60 to 70 as a strength of a studio, and we are expected to reach double of its size by at least mid of March, by February March. So we're actually expanding its size in double, and we are also looking to hire people from all the departments, starting from pre-production, FX, and also we are now coming up with hiring many artists in Unity platform also. Uh, in terms of expectation, what we're looking at candidates is they have to be open towards learning, first of all, and they should also have an open mind to work in a startup studio and also get along to understand the struggles that a startup studio face and also how to get over it. That in terms of work, we have got varieties of projects, and in terms of expectation, we are very particular. It's an art centric company. We want candidates, we are looking at employees who are disciplined and not slavery. That's not what we're looking at. We're looking at employees who are self disciplined and art centric, and who has got interest to go reach beyond their level. That's the basic for a fresher, if you ask me, right? So what we have done is the entire hiring process that we do is it's split into three different protocols. So anybody who wish to work with Zebu, they have to undergo an assessment. So basically, once they apply, we'll be sending them a link. So it is an assessment process. Apart from whatever they have mentioned in their resume or LinkedIn, invaluable introductory tools that's available, right? So whatever critical things that we assess from their profile, but still we wanted to understand what kind of a personality they are when we and whom are we going to work with. So they'll be given some kind of universal cognitive test or criteria based skill or emotional level basic test will be given to them. So we have set up certain levels that our expectation is, and candidates who clear that will go to next level of technical test. And then once they complete the technical test, we'll be having them along with the department supervisors. That's it. Then they'll have to go with the HR. And so it's pretty clear, but it would take some time because the entire process would take maximum a week's time, but it's very informational. So whatever the entire process is complete, it's a big learning curve for them. So that's the current hiring process that we have introduced in Zebu. The last it's a very new process. It's 2 months old, and I wish that we select many from Aptech this year.
Definitely, definitely. Now, students are also getting yeah, to this mode of online, and obviously now we have clients and various processes followed by various different clients. Some have got 8 hours of test, some have got 3 hours of test, and some are like taking them onto the call, etc. So, anything onto anything specifically like that, which you guys, what is it you guys would like to suggest?
See, if you ask me, one thing I would say is be prepared for interview from HR point of view. I'm not talking anything related to artistic,
Yeah,
right? So if you ask me, first of all, don't be curious to know what the salary is, where the job location is, how many hours we are going to work a day. This is going to be not an easy work at all, right? We're not
okay.
working for any factory, or it's not an IT company where we clock 9 hours, 45 hours a week. We get paid for that. No, it's not like that. The moment your delivery is done, that's where you close your laptop. That's when you close your laptop. So it is morely based on your quota and your delivery. And you have to be curious to know what am I going to learn in this project and how am I going to increase my efficiency. So if, say, for example, you're given 4 second, 3 second quota, you do not have to just stick to 2 and 3. You can increase. How are you going to do that? And also, Zebo is not like we evolve along with technology. So we don't get intimidated by evolving technologies, and we also expect our employees also to have that same thought in their mind. We are never going to stick to any traditional or any bureaucratic technical or tools that we have right now. So this kind of open thoughts, modern thinking is something that we are looking at candidates.
Basically, as Rakesh sir was saying, creativity, one word. That is all what it is all about. How creative they are, how passionate they are, right? How determined they are. Something they really knew what they can bring out from themselves inside.
Of course.
Yes. Shabnam, coming up to the hiring skill set, what is Zeebo currently hiring? We are all aware of, because as I was mentioning, we have students from across Pan India who have joined the session. So, would like to, just brief them about what is currently Zeebo hiring on.
So I can just talk about the departments. Probably Rakesh can give
Yes, yes,
insights
yes.
if there's something required. We are hiring animators, and we are
Okay,
hiring modeling artist, texturing artist, also generalist who can do both modeling, texturing together, and rigging artists, FX, lighting and comp. Along with that, we are also looking to have Unity artists, technical Unity artists for the pipeline department,
okay. So it
and
is
of
technical
course,
Unity artist.
yeah, technical Unity artist, right?
Okay,
Probably you can call it as
modelers
Unity
and
developers or Unity programmers.
okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Uh, Sir, thank you, Shabnam. Over to you, sir. Now, little bit onto the technical part of it, like what you need exactly when it comes to the testing part. When you once you share the test, what is a basic? See, we all know they are freshers. We cannot expect anything big from them. But exactly when it comes to the shortlisting part on it at the technical end front, what is the major lookout you look out for? Of course, the showreel is
No,
yeah.
no, I would like to say a joke. When you say they are freshers, they are young, they are not old, right? So they have to be
No,
more
no,
creative than
okay.
us.
Obviously understood,
Exactly.
but Shabnam, again here what happens is you cannot expect anything big from a fresher as you talk about as you expect from a experienced guy. They will be tool knowledge will be sound, exactly, sound with them, right? They will be also creative. See, that is all what you can expect from a fresher who is churning out from an institute, right? But when it comes to an experienced guy, he exactly knows a little more extra onto what is needed, what exactly how a studio is. So in on that front, do you all have anything to say for the for
Yeah,
the freshers?
I would contradict that because
Yes,
the only difference between a fresher and an experienced person will be the time, right?
yes, yes.
In our industry, say for example, you're modeling something. It doesn't matter that a senior will model it according to anatomy and a fresher
Correct.
can model it without looking at anatomy. That's wrong. Anatomy is there. The physics part of it is there. The only difference is a fresher artist can take more time to do that. Right. He will need more
Yes.
time to look at it, to analyze how things work, how to put things together. So
Okay.
that person will need more time. But a senior person, experienced
Okay.
person, because of his experience, will know how to do it fast, how to do it quickly. The same thing for animation or lighting. Animation has certain principles. The 12 principles. That principles are there. It's the same. It doesn't change
Okay.
whether you are a junior, whether you are a fresher, or you're a senior. Only thing is you will need some time to get to that level to incorporate
Okay.
all those principles while a senior doesn't need that time. That is the only difference. And that is what we are looking at for a junior. When we are giving out the test, we don't really we don't really put a restriction on the time limit. What we are looking at is what the artist is capable of or what that person is capable of. We'll always know the difference between what a junior artist can deliver or a senior artist can deliver. What we are looking for is that small push. Every person will have that small kind of passion that comes through in their work, whatever it is, something
Correct.
extra. So
Yes.
if they are attempting a test, you can really say whether they did that test for just the sake of the test, or did they really enjoy doing that work.
Enjoy doing.
If they
That
really
is that
when
that's
they
make a
got
difference. Yes.
yeah, that's exciting. When they got a model as a test, they're saying, "Oh, cool! I got this cool model to create. So what am I going to do differently? What can I do extra from what the artwork is?" That's something extra, right? That will always come through to your work, come through
Yes.
on your work. We can always find that out. We can always identify that. So that is the thing that we always look out for. Small thing, but that will always be something that will give that extra push that we
Yes.
always look out for. Yeah.
That's really really very informative, sir.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
really, because see, as a fresher, they sometimes get stuck, like they're not able to move forward because they have their own kind of a outlook. Anyway, that's really wonderful. So now coming up to yes, the test quality, everything. Now, how is the process? Now it's all virtual. It is all online now, which is conducted. How is Zebu conducting the test? Now we have students attending across, so would request you to like explain to us. Now the test will be, we will be definitely sharing you the data of students interested to join. It's going to be work from home, as you all said. So how is the process? How is the monitoring process? And what is the duration of the test? What you guys are sharing?
They'll have an online test. As I said, initially it's going to be an assessment, followed by those who clears the assessment will have the technical. That's a department test.
No,
So
what is
I
it?
suppose they'll get about 8 hours, right, Rakesh? It's 8 to 10 hours
Yeah.
test.
Yeah. 8 to 10 hours
That
for
is
the
for
technical test.
all the modules of what you're
No, no, it
hiring.
differs. It differs
Okay.
across the department. If it's modeling, if it's set modeling, it's 8 hours. If it's character, it will be 2 days. Same for animation. If it's a small animation, that is for a junior level, it's 1 day. So something complex is 2 days. It varies upon the position
Okay.
and varies upon the department.
Okay.
But basically, the test generally it will be 8 to 10 hours duration.
Yes. Sir, now when it was physically done, we had students attending and the test files were shared and all that. Is it going to be the same thing online to be conducted, or do you all follow any other different process of conducting the test? Online test will be shared. Is there a monitoring done, or it just once they start, they have to complete 8 hours and then finish the test and then share it across, or how is it
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to be? A little
They have to
more
share it
because for the
across.
rest of the students also to understand. Once
So the assessment
starting the
will be
test, they have to
monitored.
complete it fully. Okay. How is it?
Assessment will be monitored because it's coming through a tool, right? So the initial
Okay.
assessment would be monitored, but the skill test, I mean the animation test or rigging test or modeling test, that will give them a specific time and they have to return the file back, output back. So they'll have to upload the files. We'll give them a shared
Okay.
link drive,
So
so they have to
you
upload it.
so once I share the data of the students interested, you will be connecting the students directly, or how is it like you will be sharing the test with us and then monitoring it through us, or it is through you directly to the students?
We really wish we directly get in touch with candidates, but I still that I feel that we're gonna have a lot of applicants, so it's better we have your help interfering in.
Okay. So great. It was the same way when we have conducted the when we conducted this in February also. For the rest of the students who couldn't attend directly, the HR and the technical leads have collected the data, and the test files were shared to us. So students attending today, the test files will be shared to us. It's a duration of test is between 8 to 10 hours. Okay, and the test will be monitored, right? And once they start the test, they have to complete continuously for 8 hours and then close the file and send it across to us, to the respective IT ICAP team. And the ICAP team will be in touch with the studio directly. Sir, now on completion of this HR technical round, they will be definitely having an HR round with Shabnam, right?
Yeah.
And on completion of that, what is the duration of onboarding? When is this batch going to be onboarded with Zebu?
So as soon as possible, at least by if say suppose they're completing the complete process by December 15th, maybe the next 1 or 2 weeks we can have them on board. So for that they'll need to have good connectivity. They have to start working from home because the first few weeks they might have to connect working from home. So there are certain expectations in terms of network, in terms of proper system, in terms of connectivity. If our IT gives a heads up, probably they can start connecting from home. If not, then they'll have to start working from our studios, either Hubli or Trivandrum.
Okay. So for that, again, there is an assistance provided to the students through your admin, to your admin department, directly
Yeah.
connecting to students, guiding them, taking them across, briefing them across how they need to work, what they need to do. And also, obviously, if I'm right, there'll be definitely a training also, which will be given to the students for onboarding, how to work and how the work is going to be, what is it they're going to work across, right?
So training is going to be project specific, right? What the kind of project that they are going to be working on. It's not, we are not going to train them the basics of animation and the basics of modeling. No, institutional training we will not be doing, but we'll be
No,
helping
no.
them
What
in
I'm
terms
talking
of how
about,
to
what the
start.
studio requires.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's going to be studio specific and project specific.
Okay, fine. So by December 15th, max, you need to be onboarded. And currently, you are looking out for modelers, animators, Unity designers, programmers. Is the current requirement what Zebu is onto, right?
Of course. Yeah.
So it's going to be students work from home till the studio comes to a further information which will be shared with all of them joining Zebu onto when they have to report to the studio and start working. Also, it is the work location of Zebu Animation will be either Bangalore, Trivandrum, or Hubli. This purely depends on the which the HR takes for the work location during your one-to-one interview on completion of your technical process, technical test, and further during the HR process is done with the one-to-one HR round. So now, would like to just understand from one of you that we have students across who have joined. So, is there any kind of assistance you guys are providing for outstation students who are interested to join Zebu on board? Any kind of an assistance, any kind of a relocation charges, any kind of such assistance, or is the studio providing with any kind of a support in that for them to join?
So the main branch is going to be Trivandrum, right? Which, like Rakesh said, so people who is relocating to Trivandrum, uh, depending on the depending upon situations, we might give them 2 weeks, 10 days to 15 days of accommodation. We have our
Great.
official setup, so we can do that. But it depends. It's not for everyone, so
This is
it
for
needs to be
no.
qualified certain merits.
Okay. And also from certain merits and students from outside of Kerala specifically, right? Who are joining
Yes.
Trivandrum. Yes. So students, there is a 10 days of accommodation provided by Zebu who are joining on board with Zebu, of course, after the pandemic, reporting to the studio directly. In the meanwhile, you can start working from home, getting the updates, getting the details, get guided by the technical leads and the HR accordingly, the process to be followed. Now, coming up to the quality, Rakesh sir, what is the quality standard Zebu is expecting from our students? Quality standards in terms of if you can run a show reel or so that they get to understand, yes, this is the benchmark. Is there anything further to that, or something if they are not, can they at least reach up to that level? Would request you to just give an update on to that, sir.
Okay, the first thing that we would look at when we receive the portfolio is what have you put in there. So the most important thing students you have to understand is don't overcrowd your show reel with a lot of work that you have did, a lot of works you have worked on or explored on. Put only the things that will describe you best. What did you really like about doing that part of the portfolio? What did you really put? What effort did you really put in that work? Put that first. Show that first. So the quality, by in terms of quality, what we are looking for is what are you capable of? What did you understand? If you are showing a modeling portfolio, what did you understand about that character you model or about that prop you model? What is your input that you gave to that? You would obviously have had some references when you created that portfolio. If say if you're for example you are giving an animation portfolio, you would have some video recorded and you would have animated according to that. So what did you give as your part of the input? Not just looking at that video. What is that extra something that you put to make that video more, make that part of the animation more lively, right? So that will always stand out. That will always create a much higher benchmark, much higher quality than what you normally see in all the resumes or portfolios we generally have, because we receive a lot. We receive tons of resumes and portfolios. So that will help us wean out the best looking ones, the quality ones. And another thing is, if you don't classify yourself into just a modeling artist or just a texturing artist or just a rigging artist. If I'm a modeler, I will only do modeling. That's not the thing, actually. This industry, be bifurcated into modeling, texturing, rigging departments to make the work easier, to make it easier for the production to, segregate the departments and get the work done. Artist doesn't have to classify yourselves into a modeler, into a texturer, into a rigger, into an animator. If you are into animation, you have to learn to do all of it, right? Otherwise it's you can be in some government job, you can be in some IT company doing only certain part of it. If you're into filmmaking, if you really want to be a part of storytelling, you need to know how to tell the story. What processes are there? You need to at least understand those processes. So a lot of interviews I have done for students, I was really sad to know that most of them didn't know the pipeline, don't know what happens if say for example I'm doing an interview for a texturing artist, that person wouldn't know what the previous department would be, or where the work that he does, where does it go to, who does he hand over that work to, and what does that other person down the production line, what will he be struggling with what you did on that work. So you should be really aware of the production pipeline, what you are working on, how will it be useful to the person down the production line. Unless you understand what that process is, unless you understand the whole production pipeline, whole filmmaking pipeline, how to do modeling, how to do texturing, how to do rigging, at least basics. I'm not saying you would be super cool in that, super special and super excellent in all those tasks, but you need to have a general idea on what all the production line is. You need to have that passion to understand what is going on down the department line. Don't just close yourself in a small part of the department. Open yourself, explore the idea of the whole production, learning the whole production line, so that tomorrow you can be more than just a lead. You can be more than just a supervisor. You can be more than just a director. Right? That should be your aim when coming to a studio, not just Zeebo. Going anywhere looking for a job in this industry, especially, don't look for a modeling job. Don't say that your aim after 5 years is to be a modeling lead, is to be a texturing senior texturing artist. That's not what you want to do. Do you want to do that for the rest of your life? No, that's not what you're here for, right? At least that's not what we want to be. We want our artists to be like at Zeebo. So keep that in mind when we are creating a portfolio. Make sure even if you are a modeling artist, try some texturing, right? Try some sort of animation. Get help. Ask your friends to do some rigging and try some small animation in it. That would help a lot. I'm not saying all of it should be like that, but some part of it, right? That will always help you out. Trust me. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. So let me quickly take up a couple of questions which just come in the chat box. One. For portfolios, which category designs need on Illustrator or Photoshop?
Which categories designs needed on Illustrator and Photoshop? See, okay, this is exactly the same thing. Don't think of your portfolio in terms of softwares. We're not looking for software people. We are not an IT company. We'll only look at your designs. We don't care. I don't care how you did it, whether you use Paint, whether you use Photoshop, whether you use Krita. It doesn't matter. Only thing that at the end stands out is your work. How good it is, right? How creative was it? What story does it tell? Does it achieve its purpose? That is what you should be looking for. You can use any software. So inside Zeebo, we do not give off-the-shelf softwares. We will explore on different softwares, a variety of softwares. You won't be given just a single software to focus on. You'll be given a multitude of softwares that you can explore on. So it's an opportunity to explore yourself, to learn new software, so that you are independent of the software. You don't get tied to that software. I've seen artists who cannot work if they're not given Photoshop. They can only work on Photoshop. They're limiting themselves. You cannot grow, right? tomorrow, if you want to be more than just an artist, you want to be a director, you cannot do that. You can only work on Photoshop. So what are you going to do tomorrow? So don't just think about softwares. Use whatever software you can, but make sure you do a good job. Your design is perfect and tells the story that you want to tell. That's what you should look out for.
Well, sir, thank you so much. Sir, there is a question again come up from a student. How can we send our show resumes? So students who are attending today, kindly connect your center placement team, placement executives. Get your show reels updated, get your show reels evaluated, and send it across to the ICAP team, respective ICAP team of the region, and stay connected with us for all the updates which we are giving. The ICAP team will be in connect with the industry HRs and the technical panel who are joining us onto this virtual Job Fair 2020, and we will be sharing the updates with the center back again with the shortlist and selects. So please stay connected with your center placement executives. Get your show reels done, get it evaluated first in place, and share it with the respective ICAP heads of the region. Thank you, sir. And again, there is again one more question which has come up with regard to show reel again. Any specific kind of work you want from our portfolio or show reel? What is the recruitment process again? So, sir, I would request if you can show any kind of a reel which can explain about the quality what Zebu is looking out for.
Okay, I'll share some of the works that we did.
Okay.
So that when you're joining Zebu, you get an idea of the quality that we are expecting from everyone. This is a music video that we, it's something we did last year, and this was a public service awareness against COVID.
Okay.
We did early this year.
Okay.
Small clip. So these are just some of the stuff that we are doing.
Great, sir.
So yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. We had an audio problem. We couldn't hear the sound.
Oh, okay. I don't know what happened there. But yeah.
Well, sir, there is a quick question again which has come up from Akram Verma. I want to apply for 3D animator and I have prepared a portfolio for it. I have also prepared the portfolio showing the work for modeling to rigging. How to show this both? Uh, uh, you have to stay connected with your center. Please, again, we are repeating it. Get your show reels evaluated through your center faculty, share it with the respective placement heads of the center, and connect it to the respective ICAP team, ICAP heads of the region, and we will, update it and share it with the studio for the evaluation and test to be shared with you all. So get your show reels evaluated and share it with the respective ICAP heads of the region, which will be connected to the studio again. So that was about the showreel students. Now, sir, there's a question come up. Can you talk about the work culture at Zebu? Of course, it's COVID hit everywhere, pandemic going on, so it's all work from home. But in general, what is the work culture? What you guys are, having at the studio?
As I said, the culture is not about work. The culture is about life.
Yes.
So everything that we do inside is actually to elevate all of us. So
Yes.
we grow from learning from each other. It's
Yes.
not that a junior can learn from seniors and senior cannot learn from juniors. It's not like that. Every one of us has our own thoughts and our own views on stuff. So that is shared across the studio. And we don't have any organizational structure. We don't have a hierarchy. We don't look at people on a seniority level. It's not like you are a junior and you cannot talk to your supervisor. You cannot give your inputs on that. Something that's not how Zebu works. Everyone will have to give their own inputs. So every project that we have, every one of us, every artist is, we make sure every one of us is involved in it. Everyone has their own choices and inputs put in for delivering that show up to the maximum quality that we can. So that is the culture that we have, and that we will always stick true to that. And to raise that bar, as I said earlier, training is always a very important part of our culture. It's not that even for seniors, even for supervisors who join us, some kind of training will be happening all the time. Whether it's drawing classes, whether it's acting classes, whether it's learning a new software, some kind of training will always happen. It's not compulsory, but it's something that we really want all our artists to be a part of, so that tomorrow you can be more than just an artist. You can be something more. You can be a storyteller, you can be a director, you can grow into some other level. So that is what Zebu is all about. And one important thing, uh, don't think that it's just a job. And that's what's wrong with the creative industry. Creative industry, you cannot look at it as a 9 to 5 job. It is not that. It will always be about what we are delivering, what is actually at the end shown in the big screen, or in right now in YouTube, right? That is what animation industry is all about. The excitement you get when you see what you did on the screen, that is what it is all about. So there will be a struggle, even in Cebu, as in all studios. There will always be a struggle in getting stuff done on time, getting stuff delivered, keeping our clients happy. That will always be there. But at the end, what we see is actually very rewarding in terms of saying to your friends that, hey, look at that animation movie. I worked on that. Look at that series. I'm a major part of that. I helped in bringing that to the screen. So that is a work culture we will push inside Cebu to achieve that for all the artists who are with us.
And we are very serious about certain human values, and we are always constantly finding a way to improve that. And that is one of the major um, uh, change that we want to bring in a culture as a company.
Can you a little elaborate onto it, possible, Shabnam?
So this is basically taking ownership, responsibility, respect, equal respect. At the same time, I think I said this in the previous webinar that we're looking to have
Yes, sure.
at least equal ratio of women in the studio, right? So we hardly find any female candidate coming forward taking jobs like critical positions like FX rigging, animation we have, but we really want to see female candidates taking pre-production as a department as a career, or rigging, or getting into FX. These are something that we want to see as a company. And this is going to be just to add to what Rakesh said, this company is going to be art centric company, and we demand discipline, not slavery. We demand independence, we demand structure. It's not going to be a sweatshop or not a factory kind of a setup. All we focus on work. What Even if we focus on work, even if we have quotas, it's this company cannot be, Zebu is not pushed by production, but it's always, I mean, it's not going to be business or production driven company. It is always art driven company. So that is the main aspect of the culture as a company we are.
That's really great. So, 2 points come in for students, freshers who are joining today. It's a learning and growth together. It's a studio which is giving you an opportunity. You have to be open enough to learn, flexible enough to, and grow with the studio. New projects, of course, the training will be provided in the respective disciplines wherever you're joining, and you will definitely have a growth in the ladder. So that was really nice, Shabnam. Now, yes, we have spoken about almost everything covered. Um, yes, we will stay connected with the data of students who are attending today, interested, and the assessments also. Let me quickly go in and see any further questions coming into which we can take up. Yes, they have been asked. There is a student who asked about the growth hierarchy of an artist in Zebu, which Rakesh sir has already explained. So almost we have covered everything. And is there's one more question which has come in. Is Cinema 4D a good modeling software? Rakesh sir, it is for you to just give a suggestion. It is from one of the student, Ajay Srinivas. Is Cinema 4D a good modeling software?
I have no idea. I've never worked on Cinema 4D, and I'm not.
Something new come in. Huh. Yes.
Yeah. So as I
So
said
it is,
earlier, don't concentrate on softwares.
yes,
You can create any kind of model in any modeling software, right? If you're using Blender or if you're using Maya, at the end you are going to work on it. You're not the tool is just a tool. Okay, just think of that as a tool. You are the one who is going to make use all the tools and create something. It doesn't matter whether you're using Cinema 4D, Blender, Maya, whatever it is, right? Always focus on what you're creating.
yes. There is again a question come from Akram Verma. I have not registered for virtual job fair. Can I still apply? Again, to students who are attending today's session, please stay connected with your respective centers, share your portfolios, share your resumes, get it evaluated, and share it with the respective ICAP team of the region, which will be directly shared with the studio. You can still apply, and you can stay connected with us. So I think we have almost covered everything. Now, this hiring is going to be this batch which you're looking out is to be onboarded by the 15th of December. So the students who are attending to the session definitely will be very attentive, and they have got the gist of what is expected out from Zebu. So anything which in specific both of you would like to share and inform students onto this platform who have joined us today, apart from what we spoke? You can just brief them down. Otherwise, we can just come to the close of this session.
For me, yeah, this is what I have to add. So don't think of this as just another job that you're getting. Always look at it. Come with an open mind. Come with a mind to see and explore and learn. Most importantly, so you can learn from anyone. Art can be learned from anyone. It doesn't need to be from a specific resource or specific person. Art can be learned from anyone. Even a child can teach you what art is, right? So be open like that, and always push yourself more than what you are currently. Unless you push yourself, unless you explore what you can do, you will never achieve more than what you're comfortable with. You will never grow out of your cocoon. So push yourself to achieve that. The supervisors, the seniors are just seniors. You will only grow to their position once you capture all of the essence that they can provide you. So that is your responsibility. Once you're joining us, or if you're joining any animation studio, it's your responsibility to be more than an artist, to learn from all resources that you can gather, learn from all corners, not just sitting and waiting for the production person or your supervisor to get back to you. You have to be independent. You have to understand what your
Thank you.
job is and how you are going to be part of that studio. So always keep that open in your mind. Keep that thought in your mind.
Great.
That's it.
Sir, there is one more quick question, again, with regard to the software that has come into the chat box as well. Does Zebu look out for 2D animators, Flash? 2D Flash animators, do you all hire onto?
No, right now we don't have 2D opening for 2D animators, but we have openings for pre-production artists.
Okay, fine. Sir, again, one more thing. So the technical evaluation is done at Bangalore office, or is it done by the panel at the panel of the technical of Zebu? They are operating out from Bangalore or from Trivandrum? Is the evaluation done from both the offices
No,
or at Bangalore alone?
it is done at multiple locations. We have some of the creative people in Trivandrum, some of them in Hubli. Right now, everyone at their homes, not in our office. So it will be across locations, and it will always be online, always be virtual tests and virtual assessments and interviews.
Okay. So this was really a great, if I have not covered or asked anything, if you would like to cover up anything, if you would like to inform the students, you can just share it with share it with this session. And students, Zeebo Animation is a studio based out from Technopark Trivandrum, based out in Bangalore, and they also operate from Hubli. They're looking out for animators, Unity programmers, uh, looking out for modelers. And the onboarding is to be, they will be doing the onboarding by the 15th of December. It's going to be work from home. The process is going to be again uh, online. Stay connected with your centers, share your resumes and portfolios, evaluate your portfolio, get it evaluated by the respective center faculties, and share it with the respective placement executives of the centers, and share it with the respective ICAP heads of the region. We will be definitely sharing the same with the tech panel and the HR of Zeebo Animation, and we will revert back to you with the test. So yes, Zeebo is looking out for students to join across India, students to join them from across India, preferring more female candidates to be onboarded, as Shabnam was saying, right? So this is all about Zeebo, which we have got to talk to you all today. And thank you so much for joining us. Thanking both of you, Rakesh sir and Shabnam, for joining us onto the panel today and giving the inputs to students directly. Thanking the team MESC who has given us this opportunity. And thank you all for joining us. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Shabnam.
Thank you so much, Uma. Thank
Thank
you
you
for the
so much. Thanks,
opportunity.
Uma.
Let me
Thanks
I'll
all.
stay
explain that.
connected
Thank
with
you
the
so much.
update.
Thanks,
Yeah.
students. All the